get this party started. So excited, first and foremost, to be part of these 2-Star Diamond calls with you guys. I know I created them, but so excited to be working with you top dogs. What is amazing is you guys have advanced in your business to a very huge leadership spot. And I honestly know that you guys will get so much out of these calls just because you're working with the best of the best. You know, yes, I'm going to host this call, but from here forward, I'm definitely going to have you leaders step forward and tell us about your best practices and what is working within your team and even what's not. The great thing is you get to collaborate with coaches that are in the trenches just like you. I'm always here for, you know, to lead and guide you to success, to inspire you. I can help you with your back office. I can help you with elite reports. That's my #1 baby. But more importantly, these coaches right here surrounding you are just like you, and I love that. So with that being said, I am the West Region Sales Manager, so I am in charge of the 2 to 5-star diamonds over 14 states. So everything west of Texas, we have. Our sales office here is based in Utah. If you guys didn't know that, we're the only ones that are not in California. There's about 16 of us. I'll wait for a second because I think I may have just froze. But with that being said, so basically I work with you until you become a 5-star, and then from there, let me just see if I can mute this. Oh, hold on. Oh. Hey, how are you? Hey, everybody, if you'll just mute yourself, please. Thank you. And so once you've advanced to 6-star diamond and above, then you do get to start working with my boss, Doug Moss. So with that being said, within these groups, there's just a couple expectations that I, first and foremost, do require. The first one, you have to have energy. You have to have excitement. If you don't know me, that's what I have. And that's what I'm going to bring to this table every single week. But I need yours with it as well, okay? Second thing, you have to be positive. We are surrounded around negative Nancys, whatever else you want to call them. And naturally, that happens in this business, right, of helping others, especially with weight loss. I was a personal trainer. I get it. You are down with them in the trenches until they can truly believe in themselves. It's hard for them to get going. So please bring positivity into this group because that's what we really want to strive for. And the third one is be an impactful leader. Encourage your surrounding 2-star diamonds to better themselves, to get to the next level, to get to their dreams and aspirations, okay? Whatever you do within this group will truly impact where you are at. So if you give 110%, I promise you will get it back tenfold. So with that being said, like I said, I am going to be hosting this call today because I think it's one of the most important topics, and it's so easy to get away from. It's the same topic I actually had with my 5-star diamonds, and the reason for it is because it's that important. And it's the first thing that goes out the door once we start advancing because we get bigger, our organizations get bigger, our teams get bigger, and it's harder to focus on ourselves. So what I would strongly suggest is there is no secret sauce to this. You guys know that. But if you remember what it took you to get to diamond, what it took you to get to 2-star diamond, I promise you, you will continue to advance, okay? So first and foremost, we're going to obviously start off with the 3 vitals, Carl's #1 most important topic, because it truly comes to becoming a better you, and it comes down to helping people, okay? You guys are frozen. I hope you're not. Can you hear me still? Everybody hear me? Oh, man. Okay, we're back. We're back. Woo, okay, we're back. I don't know why it's doing that today. Okay, yay. Okay. Anyways, so with that being said, we're going to start with the 3 vital behaviors. This, first and foremost, will be the #1 thing that will always build energy within your business. If you're feeling like your business is lacking, if you're feeling like you haven't done a program in a year or 2, I've heard that one. I'm like, whoo, what? Okay, it's getting back to the basics, okay? First and foremost, I want to know what program you're doing. You do not need to post this right here. I'm going to have it into our group. But what program are you doing? What program are you doing in the next 30, 60, 90 days? Hey, if you're on a phone, please just mute yourself. Thank you so much. Let's see who else is unmuted. All right, perfect. Okay, well, I think so. Okay, cool. Thank you. So, like I said, this will build energy within your business. But first things first, what program are you doing? Me right now, I'm doing 21-day fix extreme, including running, because I have to do some running. So, but I know my next program, and I know my next program after that. That's what I'm saying is you should know by the end of the year exactly what you're doing, 30, 60, 90, 120 days out, okay? What book are you reading? Not what book you read last month or the month before. What book are you reading this very second? What personal development are you doing this moment? What's your next book, okay? I will promise you, barnesandnoble.com, if you have to be one that has to hold a book, I have to physically hold a book. barnesandnoble.com will become your best friend because they are cheap on there, okay? But you need to know what you're doing every single second. As soon as you go away from not doing the 3 vitals, your team goes away from not doing the 3 vitals, and that duplicates. So always stay diligent with that. I understand if you need to get out of the house because now you're working possibly full-time Beachbody coach and you would never leave the house. I get it. You need to go to yoga class or you need to go to the gym, whatever it is, but always do your program wherever you're at, okay, because that will duplicate. Third thing is inviting. What are you doing to invite? Are you inviting 2? Are you inviting 20? Hopefully it's on the upper right now because it's Team Cup month, right? Team Cup is incredible because not only does it put your actions from Summit into action, but also it shows you what your business is going to be in the next 30, 60, 90 days. The reason I say that, and I have to share this, because I was on a team call about a month ago, and I had a cute, brand new coach, and she was maybe 60 days in. And she's like, Brittany, she's like, because I asked, I said, some best practices or some stories I would love to hear. And she said, well, I was at Success Club 22 for her second month. I was like, okay, that's pretty awesome, right? We should all be celebrating. She's like, yeah, but I just put a post out there. It was on the wrong day. The stupidest post I probably could have ever done, ever. It was a Friday afternoon. It wasn't for my market, my niche market. And I posted it and I walked away and I went to the pool. Needless to say, 3 days left in the month, she ended up doubling. She'd hit 44 Success Club points. And now we're like, okay, why? It wasn't the right day. It wasn't the right post. It was because she built relationships for the last 60 days. And she nurtured those relationships. And it took that silly little post for coaches or for potentials to be like, yeah, I'm ready. And they started messaging her. And she doubled her Success Club points in 3 days to 44. Yeah, that's huge. Huge. So what I'm saying is what you do right now, you may not see the fruit of the labor, and you may not for the next 30, 60, 90 days. But once you get that momentum going, it is hard to stop it. So start right this very second with that. Okay? So this will build energy with you, your existing team, your new team. It will build energy. So don't ever get away from it. I'm going to wait for another second. It says the internet is unstable, so when it says that, I'll stop. So if I all of a sudden just pause, that's why, okay? don't want you to miss any of this. Okay, but I will post that in our group so you can really share with me what you're doing, what your goal is. And I've had many coaches say, you know what, Brittany, I'm not doing any of it. And it took one person to stand up and say it, and then 2 or 3 other came up and said, I feel the same way. And now they're connecting with each other and holding each other accountable. So I don't care where you're at within your business. Please just be honest and be willing and able. If you're wanting to advance your business, that's why you're here, right? 2-star diamond is very easy to get to 2-star and celebrate and just be done. But it's also very simple to then roll into a 5-star diamond elite coach because you have all that momentum built up. So that's what we're really trying to have you guys see, that bigger picture, because it's so great once you get where you want to be. All right. With that being said, I'm going to focus my next half of our training on time management. Who needs help with time management? Right? Everybody's like, yep, that's me. I'm the same way. And that's why when I was writing this and really digging deep into this, it was like, oh, yes, that I need this just as much as you guys do. Time management is huge. How many of you feel overwhelmed and completely paralyzed? I get paralyzed. My list gets so long, I just go, okay, let's go to the pool. I'm just done. Okay? How many of you are working 6+ hours per day every day? It's a lot. Yeah. And you can only do that so long. So I want to really help you with that. How many of you don't have a supportive spouse or family because of your Beachbody business. Yeah, thank you. It's so true. It happens because all they do is see you working. You don't have the balance of them. And once you get the balance of them, then they'll be more supportive with it, okay? So I'm going to rely on my notes because if not, I'll talk your ear off for the next 2 hours. So I will stay on task, okay? So like I said, if you're feeling like you're reacting to fires, losing your passion, can't handle all the stress, it can be tied back to you being too busy, having too much on your plate, or saying yes to too many people. The most liberating thing you will ever do is say no. Once you master it, it's hard to say yes, and it's a good thing, I promise. Also, you're not spending time in the areas that give you the best rewards, the things that ignite you, that make you wake up with a passion, a purpose, a desire, okay? So I want you guys to grab a piece of paper, a blank piece of paper. Okay, just grab a piece of paper. We're gonna mark it all up. The beautiful thing about this is this is gonna help you rebuild your life. 0 commitments to the gym, the school, whatever you have, 0. You've said no to everybody and everything. You should already feel like, whew, I feel good, right? Love it. So this is an empowering process because honestly, this will duplicate. As you duplicate this with your team, they will thank you for it. They will see new things and new ways to do their business. They are trying to make too many people happy and be involved too much, and it burns them out. If you're not on mute, if you will mute yourself, please. Also, along with this is you're going to rebuild your life in a way that you can control and dictate based on what your passions are. Okay. With that being said, I want you to draw 5 buckets on your piece of paper. I'll let you get it for a second. Okay. I don't care how beautiful or how atrocious your buckets are. Mine aren't pretty, I promise you that. But from here, I want you to take a big black marker or just your pen and draw a line through each of the buckets, 3/4 of the way full. Hey guys, will you make sure that you're muted, please? I can mute some of you. Go. Perfect. Okay, love it. Thank you. So with that, the symbolism is the buckets don't bleed into each other anymore. For example, you have a bucket set aside for your family. You have, maybe it's even one-on-one time with your children. Whatever it is, nothing else bleeds in there. Your cell phone, your laptop. Okay, did you hear me? Your cell phone, your laptop don't evolve in those buckets. Okay. So when you are in the bucket, you are 100% focused and in tune with what's going on so that there is no competition. There will be time now that you are 100% focused and invested in your Beachbody business. So don't worry, you'll have plenty of time, I promise you. With that, the great thing about this is that you'll communicate with those around you. They will know when it's personal time, Beachbody time, family time, and they will help you stick to it. Hey, one more time for anybody new, just make sure you mute yourself, please. See if I can mute. There we go. Okay, everybody's muted. Perfect. So, the key is to be as effective and as efficient as possible. As you draw these buckets and bars out, they don't bleed into each other. They stay completely separate. Every bucket is going to get a name and a color and a weekly time allotment. Each bucket will have 2 to 3 top activities. That is it. 2 to 3. You can do in the bucket to help maximize your time. But only limit yourself to 5 buckets. Don't do any more, okay? Anything more, you're just going to get overwhelmed and you're going to drop the ball everywhere. It's kind of like throwing like everything at a wall and seeing what sticks and everything falls down. Don't be that person, okay? Just 5. Just 5. All right. So this is my buckets, and yeah, they're not really buckets, but I put them into my calendar. But so my, for example, say personal, family, and relationships. So those are my top 3. My number 4, my number 5 are my Beachbody career. Okay, so my number 1, and you guys can name them whatever you want, but my first one is personal, my second one is family, and my third one is relationships. The reason why, I just moved back to Utah for, being gone for 5 years. oh no, it totally cut out. Hold on one second. Oh, gotcha. What's in the 5 buckets? They will be whatever buckets you want, but number 4 and number 5 are solely for Beachbody. Okay? But the other 3 are what you want. And like what I was saying, mine is personal, family, and relationships. And it's because I moved back from Florida after being gone for 5 years. And so I have to rebuild those relationships. My dad got hit on his motorcycle 2 years ago and now is completely paralyzed. I now have to build a stronger relationship with my mom to help take care of my dad. So there's certain things that happen in your life, and you'll determine, okay, what is that one bucket? And that's what you do, okay? So with that, all right. You can also use a Microsoft Office suite or Outlook calendar to organize this. Google Calendar can work also. We actually at the office here have everything color coded. Like for example, my workouts are in orange. My manager time is in pink. And you do that specific. You can do that even in your planner with highlighters. So you can look at it and be like, yep, that's my family time. And that's what you stick to. But now it is time for you to determine what those buckets are. So you determine what those are. But here's a wrench to throw into it. Like I said, save number 4 and number 5 for Beachbody. Your number 4 is Beachbody personal activity. This is where you're going to spend 80% of your time. And you're probably like, why 80? It's because this is where your marketing strategy is, your blogging strategy, bringing new customers slash coaches, working with your new personal sponsors in the first 90 days to get them up and going. Where do your workouts go? I have mine in my personal, number 1. Great question, Emily. Along with that is you're working with those new coaches in the first 90 days, and you're focusing on getting them to 2-star diamond. Yes, I said it. 2-star diamond. Get over the diamond mentality. The reason, if you haven't had a one-on-one with me, I will tell you this. What happens is you tell a coach to get to diamond, they will get to diamond. And they celebrate, you celebrate, and you say, okay, let's go. And they said, nope, I'm good. I hit my goal. Okay? Open up the bigger picture of what is possible. 2-star diamond, they actually become a leader. They get open up their second CBC, quarterly bonuses. This is where they decide if they're going to make Beachbody a full-time or maybe go, their work half-time, part-time. Who knows? But you have to open up that bigger picture. You do not want to be a Wednesday night coach, which you're constantly checking the back office to make sure that the stars have aligned and you keep your rank, right? Is there Wednesday night coaches out there? I promise you. I go to dinner with some of them at market councils. I'm like, stop. Okay? So with that being said, that is where you're spending 80% of your time, is truly your recruiting, getting new blood into your team. Does the 80% pertain to total Beachbody time or total time overall? 80%. So basically what this is saying is if you have 6 to 8 hours in the day for your Beachbody business, 80% of it is spent on this. 20% is your Beachbody organizational time. That's your team time. It's very easy once we get to 2-star diamond to shift our focus. All of a sudden now you have a team and you're like, okay, now 50% of my time is recruiting and 50% of my time is my team. The second you do that, your team does it. And it doesn't matter what level they're at. Even if they're an Emerald coach, they will naturally do that. Okay? So if you're wondering why your business is stagnant, why there's not a lot of excitement, why your coaches aren't hitting Success Club, it's because you're not adding newness into your team. That is what's going to constantly make you grow. So do not forget what it took you to get to a diamond. Yes, it was 100%. Now it's 80%. But with all that, anything you do, so 20% of your time is with any of your personal sponsored coaches outside their 90 days, developing the right type of culture and leaders on your team and the right environments. Now, you may say, well, I'm working with my coach to get to 2-star diamond. It's going to take longer than 90 days. I get that. I totally get that. But if you gave them the correct tools in the first 90 days, they should be set up for success. And a check-in point here and there will not take much time. Okay? So I have a question for you guys. Why is personal activity more important than Beachbody organizational time? Anybody? I just said it 12 times, but anybody? Yes, you lead by example. Exactly. Thank you, Crystal. Your business won't get stagnant. If you're wondering why you haven't advanced past two-star diamond, I will promise you that's probably it. Okay? Get new blood. Work with the willing. I promise you, you will not feel like you're on the constant hamster wheel of it just constantly going. Exactly. Speed the leader is the speed of the pack. Couldn't agree with you more, Shannon. So whatever you are or are not doing, your team will also do. If you aren't bringing on new leaders, new team members, they won't either. When you get up in the morning and look in the mirror, that's who you want to attract, is you. Okay? Are you a leader? Are you ready and are you prepared? You'll draw these people into your life if you are. So wherever you're at, that's what you're going to draw into your life. If you're like, man, my teams just will not hit Success Club, I'm going to ask you, well, when was the last time you hit Success Club? But more importantly, when was the last time you hit SC10, SC20? That momentum will build, and it will definitely duplicate down to your team. You need to review the 5 buckets and how you can maximize your time in the buckets. Once this is done, go and schedule these into your calendar and master it. Do you guys remember your first Beachbody program? I laugh because it's 21 Day Fix Extreme. I will tell you, Pilates with the band, I want to take the band off and throw it at the wall. And I'm finally now, I'm like, I got this. Okay, you guys, some of you are laughing because you get what I'm saying. It is just not my forte. Like, I want to lift some weights and I don't need an active recovery day and blah, 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 blah. I have every excuse in the book. But I'll tell you, it's the one workout I do not miss now because I feel the best results. I feel better. I've mastered it and I feel like not a pro, but I feel better, right? That's what this is going to take. It's going to take time for you to master this. But first things first, just like your action list from Summit, jump into it and do it. When I was a personal trainer and I'd wake up, I had to do my workouts before I actually trained clients because if not, I didn't want to work out when I got home. So what I did at 5 a.m., 5 to 7, I did my workouts, my meal prep, personal development, whatever else I had to do for me first thing, and I scheduled it. And I tweaked my time here and there, but then I knew Monday through Friday exactly what I was doing and when I was doing it. And it might be tough right now. Some of you might have kids at home, and you might be doing the sweet baby Jesus hallelujah dance that they're going back to school here soon. I've heard plenty of moms say that. Yeah, exactly. Plenty of moms that are saying that. And it's because you want structure just as much as those kids do, right? They get bored. They want structure. You do too, okay? So compare this planning meeting to the coach's favorite workout program. Like I said, did it take them time to master it? Absolutely. It's going to take time for you to master this. But I promise you, like I said, it's the same conversation I just had with my 5-star diamonds. And if you master it right this very second, when you get to 5-star diamond, you will feel so much excitement, and you will not feel like, whew, yes, it is a lot of work, but if you have your time and your priority right, you'll be able to advance and take on more responsibility and grow with this. All right, let's see what else I can say off of this. And of course, you can name and categorize your buckets as you see, as they fit, but the key is to limit yourself to only the 5 buckets. So what do you do now? I want you guys to take time and kind of marinate on it. What are you going to do to make sure that your individual time with your spouse is the most important time? Doug would hate me for saying this, which Doug is my boss, but when I leave work, if you guys wonder why you message me and I don't answer till the next day, it's because I log out, I walk away. I have to. And so do you. Yes, I understand you get a message that somebody wants a challenge pack right that second, and you say, sweetheart, just give me 10. No. Business will be there in the morning, and your coaches will learn to respect it, and they will live by it. One of the biggest turnoffs that I ever experienced was one of my dear friends that was in a different MLM. I know we're MLH, but she wanted me to be on her team so badly. And I directly said, no, thanks. And the reason why, and she built me up, she made me feel like $1,000, right? Like I would conquer the world with this thing. It was because of how much time she spent working. And I will tell you, it will turn off your coaches, and they will not see the life by design that you're trying to create because you're working around the clock. You have not set business hours. And eventually your team will get tired and they will shut off and they will just say, you know, I can't do it anymore. It's too much time. And you're absolutely right, Emily. It's hard to do. But I promise you, business will be there. Business will always be there. And if you're working towards something, I get it, but you have 8 hours in the day, make sure you are diligent with scheduling those 8 hours. If you're doing invites, don't do invites at 7:30 at night and then try and walk away at 8. That makes no sense. Do them earlier in the day, then you have all day to go back to those invites, okay? So, let's see. Okay, walk this through with your team. The reason why I say this is you can cheat this process as much as you want as a one star and sometimes as a 2-star diamond. You can cheat it, absolutely. But as you progress and become more influential and impactful as a leader and become a 3-star diamond and above, you'll get overwhelmed. It will help you filter and prioritize like nobody's business. And maybe that's not your strong suit, but I will promise you it needs to start becoming part of your strong suit because what you do duplicates. As an entrepreneur, you have to do this. Like no ands, ifs, or buts about it. You must create a work-life balance. You must step away. I have 5-star diamonds that are advancing that go get married, that go travel the world. Or Brittany, I'm going to be gone for 3 weeks. Okay, awesome. But they've set it up so nicely that they can leave for 3 weeks and they're going to be okay. That's what you want to do. All right. Like I said, you'll need to move the internet went unstable. Am I good now? Good? Okay. But I want you guys to really take a moment and think about what you need to focus on with this. Because if you're, like I said, if you're stagnant, if you're wondering, man, I don't know how much longer I can do this. I've been at 2-star diamond forever, or I'm actually now to a 1-star or a diamond rank. It's time to look at you and see how you can change personally to get where you want and need to be. So with that being said, what questions do you guys have? You can unmute yourself, so I don't feel like I'm talking to a wall. Anybody?
I have one.
Yeah.
So the time management thing is hard though at night because I have 4 kids.
Yeah.
And now they're all home, and so I feel like I should spend my day with them. So like basically Beachbody's getting put in the cracks of my day, and it feels like it's all day. Like I never am not without my phone or doing messages or something, and it gets overwhelming, and my husband's annoyed, my kids are annoyed, and I just don't know. So I wake up early, but then when school starts, that doesn't even help either because I have to wake up at like 3 a.m. to do it. I just don't know like how people do it then.
You know, great question. I work with a lot of coaches that are to that point also, and either they, like over the summer, they go get a Y membership and they have an hour of free or 2 hours of free childcare, and they just sit out in the out front and just work. So there's that option. I've heard even, I work with several coaches that bring a nanny in 2 or 3 days a week, and just for a couple hours, somebody to play with them so you can get business done. Kids Club, thank you, Rachel. Really anything that you can get your kids involved in. And I had a coach on the last call, that I said, or on my 5-star diamond call, that I said, put your kids in kids camps. The reason I say that is they want to get out of the house. They want to get active and they want to get, have a lot of fun. And it's hard to get anything done, when they're home, you want to be with them. So all I say with that is try and find 2 or 3 hours a day where you are diligent to you and your business, and then you can walk away. Because it is harder, and maybe once school starts, but if you have younger ones and maybe all 2 at home, but you have to find what works off for you. Yeah, Rachel says it pays off. It absolutely does. It will allow you to advance in your business and to eventually, get other people to help you as well. Does that kind of help? Quiet time. Emma says quiet time. There you go. A lot of quiet time. They're going to think they live in a library. I love it. Okay, what other questions? Shannon, did you have one?
Will you be, would you mind posting your notes from this or bullet points or whatever from this bucket section in the group? It'd be great to visually see. You said so many good things. I couldn't write that fast.
I am a fast talker too. Absolutely, I will. And I will post this first call in the group only because I want I think it's so important. Obviously, this is probably one of the most important topics because once you master this, you can really master anything. From here forward, any other calls will not be posted because I want you guys to be here. I want you guys to interact. And I feed off of your energy as much as that. So I will post the call so you can re-listen to it as well. But yes, absolutely. I'll put some bullet points in there for you. Okay. Awesome.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So you're saying how many of you do 6+ hours a day? I know some of us do loads. I've got like my time scheduled out, but I always end up doing more. Yeah. Honestly, at this level, what do you think we should be putting into this daily if we're like scheduled?
Absolutely. Let me give you an example. I have a gal that just advanced to 6-star diamond, and she did it all while being high ranked up, or she's a career-driven woman. She works actually for Nike, and she advanced to 6-star diamond. And how she did it, after work, she would go home and work for about 2 hours, and she'd work half day on Friday and no hours on the weekend. So if you look at that, it's less than like 10 hours. And she did it because the Facebook scrolling went away. She was diligent in what she did, and she focused. So I would honestly say anything more than like 6 to 8 hours per day is probably too much because so much of it is so interactive and you have to be on your best game. But yes, Rachel says it's all about the power hour. It truly, truly, truly is. So I would say honestly, try to limit it between 6 and 8 and never go over that because if so, you'll get out of balance. But if you're working towards something very, very strong, there may be days you may pull a little bit more. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? You guys can't be this quiet. Just curious, how many of us? Great question. So there's 21 of us on the call right now, and in our group, what is there, like 50? So half? So there's about half of us here, Robert. But I will promise you, what you put in is what you get out. If you don't show up, like the biggest thing is I don't want to take away your time. This is business time. This is money-making time. So if you are like, you know what, that made no sense, I will promise you, like this is where you collaborate with 2-star diamonds just like you, and you advance to the next level, and you keep going. Yes, right after 2-star, I have a 3-star diamond call, and then I have a 4-star, and I have a 5-star. And these are going to be, my 5-star call is going to be my elite coaches. No ands, ifs, or buts about it. Like in the group, they're going crazy. They're becoming, they're collaborating together. They're working together. They're everything. And that's what it should definitely come down to. Okay, what other questions?
I have a question.
Yep. Absolutely.
Is there going to be a topic or a week where we'll talk a little bit more about recruiting or getting out of your warm market? I don't know if anybody else is struggling with this, but I'm about 19 months in the business now and kind of stuck at 2-star, and my warm market is basically tapped. So I would love the opportunity to kind of collaborate at some point with everyone and find out, strategies and stuff to kind of, get to that next point.
Absolutely. Great question, Sarah. So basically each week will be, so when I asked in a group on what topic you're great at and what topic you needed more information on, that was for me to kind of see what you guys need within it. And I will tell you the number one call I always do with number one topic, always with team calls when I'm helping, my top coaches and their downline, it's all based on recruiting. So I promise you, that will definitely be the next topic. We'll focus on recruiting, but I'm going to have you guys as leaders actually tell me your best practices and who I can, basically when I'm looking at reports, I will see who the top 2-star diamonds are. And those are the ones that I want to definitely collaborate with and see what their best practices are, because we can all learn from that. So from here forward, it will always be you coaches actually, diving in. So look forward to an invite because I know many of you and what your strengths are. And then, of course, any of us that need more guidance and more direction, then we'll just take it on as the next topic. Does that help? But yes, your topics will be covered, Sarah. I promise. Okay. Anybody else?
I've got a question for you.
You got it. How are ya? What's your question? Are you there?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, so I've been coaching for over 3 years. Good. I've got a big delay here, so I'll just keep talking. I've been a coach for over 3 years. I've hit Success Club every month I've been a coach. I became a diamond within my first month. The entire Beachbody experience has been incredibly inspiring for me. I was in a pretty dark place in my life before I started coaching. And so this has been something that has changed my life completely. And I'm always enthusiastic and happy and motivated and rolling, but I so much struggle with getting my team to move. And I know you touched on it about being the leader, and you're as fast as you go is as fast as your people will go. I can't get anybody to move. And the things you said make sense, but of those things, nothing really clicks as to what it is that I really need to do to inspire my team to get them to roll.
Absolutely. So if you feel that way, which I will tell you so many coaches do, Tom, first and foremost, I would never stop recruiting. And when I say that, because if you honestly focus, if you recruit 10 new coaches, you may have 1 or 2 that are actually going to run with it. And so unfortunately, that's the part where it becomes type of a number game, but you work with the willing and the ones that are putting the blood, sweat, and tears in the game. And what happens is, Tom, is once your team sees you working only with the willing, they will either step up the rest of your team, or they'll step out. Either direction is actually good for you. So from that, I would just say, increase the recruiting. And when you're adding new coaches to your team page and they see that, that's when they see you as a leader, and they will either jump on board and start adding to that, or they will step out, and either direction is good for you and your business.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, guys. Anybody else? Rachel, you and I are great minds think alike. Finding people work with the willing. I couldn't preach it more. Okay, anybody else? I know I have some talkers in here. People I meet with regularly, and they're not talking. What? Blair. I can think of one right here. Blair. Oh, I muted you, I think. Okay, Blair, you're here.
Yeah. I love you calling me out. I was driving, that's all. I'm trying to get in my house.
Is there anything else to add to this?
Is there anything what now?
That you just want to add? Anything that maybe, because you and I have talked quite a bit, anything else that you want to add to maybe the group that kind of going over, we've been talking a lot about recruiting now, but anything else anything that's been helping you in your business kind of with time management or recruiting?
Time management, it's funny because that's actually an area that I need to be better on, because I have a almost 4-year-old ninja who literally takes over my house on a regular basis. And as many of other parents are really excited for their kids to go back to school, my 13-year-old, I'm like, no, that's my helper is going back to school. So I'm panicking. So I think that your idea of maybe me looking into some camps or something like that is probably a good call. But I strongly encourage focusing highly on recruiting. That is my area. That is where I focus all of my time, is recruiting. I make sure that all my, that's where I'm my Success Club points, that needs to come from recruiting. And the majority of my Success Club points every month are from recruiting. And I'm encouraging my team to focus on recruiting more than anything.
I think you just stepped up to the plate to be our next week's caller about recruiting.
I love that. I love recruiting. That's like my favorite thing.
Okay, I have a question for you, Blair. Hi, how are you?
Hi.
It's Emma.
Oh, hey,
Hi.
Emma.
Okay, so I'm really big on recruiting as well. But how do you go about telling your team in a way to make it not so about numbers? Because I think that's my focus on recruiting. That's my always over SC10 every single month. Like, but it's the whole like, how do you say it to your team in a way that's not so weird? Sorry, my dog.
Oh, no, you're fine. Honestly, I look at recruiting as you're offering somebody the entire package of the lifestyle change, and we're all here to help people change their lives. And I'm like, and that to me is how you're going to be changing people's lives fully. I mean, it's great, don't get me wrong, to help somebody lose weight and to feel better about them. But I think when you tap into the culture of Beachbody and coaching and the team, that they're meeting everything. And I work with so many moms, especially. So it's like, dude, you're going to be able to make friends, and you're going to be able to have a bit of a social life, and you're going to have all this other stuff besides the fact of the personal development and the skills that you're going to, the confidence and everything that comes with coaching. And I'm just getting them to see the bigger picture and letting them know, like, if you're not talking to people about coaching, you're really doing people a huge disservice in your business, because you're really not letting them see what they could be gaining more than just let's, help you lose 30 pounds. Like, I'm all about like, no, let's help you change your life and get that financial freedom. Right. So, I mean, that's huge. I mean, I'm constantly with my team getting them to build that vision for them, but then helping them build that vision to everyone that they're talking to in conversations, even when it's talking about challenge groups. I'm like, no, you need to start seeing when people are talking about their struggles in the middle of a challenge group invite, and seeing that in for you to talk to them about coaching.
And I think I do that personally. So I think just me sharing it with them, they need to, because I think I assume too, because I'm like, well, I kind of learned this on my own. So I just assume they're going to learn it. And then that's where I'm like, okay, I need to be more vocal and paint that picture more for them. Because I feel like I'm doing it, but now I'm kind of like Brittany was talking about, I'm reevaluating myself and where I'm coming off short, I think. And I think that's where I am. So, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Awesome. Sounds like this will be our topic next week. I love it. Okay. Let me just, what is the amount of SC points on average for 2 stars? Oh, laws. There's not really an average. They're all over the board. Can you guys hear me? Okay, so to be honest with you, though, as a 2-star diamond, SC10 should be a non-negotiable. And I always tell my coaches, if you hit SC10 3 months in a row, 2 months in a row, 1 month in a row, increase it. Increase it to 12. Increase it to 14. See what you're capable of. Because honestly, that right there, I mean, most of my coaches, 5-star diamond above, SC20 is their minimum. I mean, I talk to coaches. One of my gals is so funny. She's number 16 in the network, and she's a 4-star diamond. And, I'll ask her her goal, and she's like, SC50. And I'm like, okay then. And it's very rare that coaches say that. But if they've hit it before, they're like, I can do that again. Okay, cool. So honestly, all I can say is just increase that number. But SC10, SC5 is bare minimum. You're not really doing too much. SC10 is where you're going to see the fruit of the labor. And anything more than that, you're just going to build your team, your business even faster. Yep. Perfect. Well, I'm just going to tell you guys real quick. Of course, any other questions we can always post into the group. But I am going to post about the 3 vitals. I want to hear what you guys are doing as far as program-wise. And be honest. If you're not doing something, be honest. Okay? Put it out there. But I will promise you, if you're stagnant, any of those things, you have to go back to the basics. Never get rid of the basics. Most important thing, Carl preaches it every time he's here in our office. Also, set business hours and don't work more than 8 hours per day. Be diligent at that, okay? Also, schedule a time with myself sometime this week or first of next week. I'm traveling next week, Wednesday through Friday. But basically, I'm getting the elite report tomorrow, and that is a true vision of your business and where you're at. The number one thing on that report that I figure out for you is your Success Club base. meaning how many of your coaches that count towards Elite 2014, 2015 actually count or are hitting Success Club. And I understand you may not be close to hitting Elite this year, but what you do right now sets you up for success in 2015, 2016. Okay? But more importantly, work towards something. You have to. I promise you, you'll accomplish your dreams if you put it out there. Okay? And like I said, schedule a time with myself, maybe 5-10 minutes where we can just, dig deep into your business and really look at it. Other than that, is there anything else that you guys want to say before I let you all go? No. Hey guys, thank you. Rachel, you're right. You will see me in Vegas. I'm going to Vegas next week. I may have extended my trip because I'm going to stay a little bit longer. Be so fun. You're welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for showing up.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Take care, guys. Thank you. Bye, Emma. You're big on my screen, girl.